Welcome back to the new season of the Experts in Fire podcast. I'm your host, Mike Vennard, and joining me today is our NFI certified Master of the Flames, Randy Mowry. Let's get into it. Hey Randy, how you doing today?
I am doing fantastic, Mike. How are you today?
You know, I realize that we always come into this show giggling and laughing.
We do.
we should tell this is season 2, so they get some insights into why are these guys always giggling and laughing when they. So I do the actual intro beforehand, and there's always one that's super fun, and it makes us laugh. So
absolutely.
If you can't laugh at yourself, what are you doing? Anyway.
Yeah, they let us back for a season 2.
Exactly.
Can you believe it?
They were like, hey, let's do this again. And we went, really?
We're going to take a break for a little while. Okay. And it's like, okay, season 2. I was like, oh, wow, they're going to let us do this all over again.
We thought it was like that boyfriend-girlfriend thing, which Randy and I haven't done in decades. But, you know, the whole, hey, let's take a break. That usually means bye.
Right?
You're right, though. It's season 2. We changed some things. Obviously not Mike and Randy. We haven't changed us things, but we're going to be doing some different things this season. So let's just highlight a couple things, Randy. We're gonna do one of them today, so we'll get to that one. But one of the things that we do have going is we already have planned and dates set for some interviews that we're going to do with our firebrand partners, which is super exciting because we've been working on our Firebrands program for probably 2 years now, Randy? Is that
at least a couple years now?
If you haven't heard or if you didn't know, Firebrands is our collection of partners that we've been doing business with for quite some time, or they have been doing business in the marketplace for quite some time. We've really secured that relationship to a place where we can guarantee fast delivery. We have it in our own warehouse as well so that we can get it to our customers and our clients quickly. And we completely trust the product in your home. And especially if you are an installer, we completely trust that product when it comes to warranty pieces or any type of troubleshooting. We know it inside and out. And more importantly, we trust that the manufacturer is going to work diligently with us. And that's usually, because I negotiate these things, that's usually what we have is that relationship to say, I need a tech person that I can get a hold of 24/7.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. It's the communication, between us and our clients is always a priority. But that communication between us and our partners is just as important so that we can properly get the information to our clients. Some of the new partners we have and some of the ones that we've had for a long time.
Yeah, it's exciting for our partners as well. As I was talking with them, their brand being represented well in the marketplace is super important to them. Obviously, they're building a brand. So the opportunity to be a part of the program is exciting for them. And then also exciting to sit down with us in podcast form and share, some of the vision, how their brand started, what they're doing and why is super fun. And we get to introduce a new player to the Woodland team here who's going to be joining me in these podcasts. And his name is Mr. Kevin Bobstein.
Yes, Mr. Bobstein joining you on this joyous ride that we've been on.
If you guys think Randy Mowry is fun to listen to, just wait until Kevin joins the show. I don't think I'm even going to talk, Randy. I'll be honest.
You may not have to.
And we might get a bunch of listeners for that because they're like, we're tired of listening to you talk, Mike.
Right. Do you have the first couple that are going to be on with you and Kevin that you can announce?
You are right on the money for that one, Randy. I do. We are excited to announce that we're going to be sitting with Grand Canyon Gas Logs. That is Mr. Elliot White. Modern Flames, which is Mr. Chris Richardson. and we're going to be chatting with them separately as we discuss, I believe Modern Flames just hit 15 years.
Wow.
As a company, yeah. We've been with them since their beginning, and Grand Canyon just hit 10 years. So all things we're going to discuss there, the vision of their companies and what they're doing, and how they're trying to, just kind of change the marketplace with their products. And all of these vendors that we have, they all have a great vision for people in their homes. We all use these products in our own homes, and so we get opportunity to sit and look at them and go, man, I can make it better. I can do it better. And that's what I'm excited to show folks.
Yeah, that's a great start going into the interviews of some of our partners. That's going to be a fantastic start, having those two partners with you and Kevin, and going through and just maybe doing some Q&A. I don't know what the layout's going to be, but that's exciting news.
It's going to be fun. And these guys are, I'm really hoping that they're super nervous, because then it's going to be really fun.
And if not, Kevin will make it fun.
So that's a new branch off of what we're doing as a podcast. We're also wanting to incorporate our listeners here with Randy and I, because we've been doing this for a while, and I don't want it to get mundane and old. For new listeners coming in, they're hearing things that maybe they've never heard before, but we're beginning to repeat ourselves in terms of topics. So what we're doing, even today, we're going to grab a hold of some customer questions that have come in, and we're going to answer those. And Randy, I want to stress to people, to our listeners out there, that's what we're here to do. I know you listen to us talk, and we kind of come in with topics and try to help guide you through the fire world. But what we really want to do is know, what are you dealing with out there? Randy, that's why I lean so hard on your experience, because you're working with folks every day. How can we better help those who are out in the field working, doing what they do every day?
Yeah, just being that shoulder to lean on for everything fire, and just being that expert in fire. One of the many things that I have found here locally that is very appreciative from our contractors is the fact that they don't have to be that expert in fire. So what they're doing is they're picking up that phone and just calling me, and here locally, of course, I have the benefit of going out and site visiting these jobs, everything from the pre-construction, some even pre-design and layout, to explain maybe why this will work, this will not work, and based on the product that they're looking for their client, or even meeting with the client and the contractor. So it's really being that extension as the expert in fire, so they can focus on what they're doing, their job.
Yeah, that is, for us, that's our heart. That's who we are. It's what we want to do. We want to do that for you. And you know what? We're going to do that here today. We've got a couple questions that we're going to walk through. I know, Randy, you've already read them, so you've taken some notes so that we can discuss them. And then we're just going to kind of tease this into the future, so that our listeners can gear up, get their pencils out. That's funny. I said that to my daughter yesterday. I'm like, hey, grab a pen, grab your notebook, take some notes there, because she's doing all this recruiting sign-up stuff. And she just gave me that side eye, like, I've got my phone, Dad. I'm taking notes there. I still don't understand.
The life of a number 2 pencil. I could just hear the cries.
It's a new cartoon. It'll be coming out probably in the spring, the life of a number 2 pencil. Oh. You have fire-related questions, and we have answers. You can email us your questions at podcast@woodlanddirect.com, or give us a call at 586-221-3638. We would love to be able to answer them right here on the Experts in Fire podcast. Okay, we digress. Here we're going to talk about some questions that we got from listeners, and I'm gonna make this official. You ready? Question number 1. Michael asks, "Hello. I am wondering if a gas fire pit that runs on propane can be converted to natural gas. Is it possible for any gas fire pit to be converted to a different gas type, or is it only a select few? Thank you." Well, thank you, Michael, for the question. And it's actually a very good question. We get asked this one quite often. Yeah. So, Randy, where do you want to start?
The quick answer is yes, not all of them can be converted. You would have to refer to the manual for that particular model to see if it actually has a conversion kit. Now I'll speak to what we offer. I would say almost everything that we have, we would be able to convert from propane to natural gas, or vice versa as well. Based on the fittings and stuff like that, because a lot of our stuff is, we have the components to rebuild them completely, and so that conversion is a pretty simple process, just getting the proper kits. Now, when you start to get into things that have electronics and different push buttons, there might be some other challenges there, and that's why I say nearly everything. There are some turnkey style fire pits that are imported, possibly from overseas, of course, that they just don't have the parts to do that type of conversion, Mike.
I think of our vendors as well, Randy, and there are a couple who prefer that burner and pan be sent to them and they do the conversion in-house, or a certified pro. This isn't something that a homeowner can just go and do. It seems simple. When you're talking about that many BTUs, especially in fire pits, your smaller pits, and I think I'm drawing the line in my head with what you started with. Like if you bought something at a big box store, I can't come close to speaking to that. That's going to be the manual. But our product, almost every time.
Yeah, almost every time. And we even have one manufacturer that has a very specific conversion in-house that can be converted on the fly within seconds from propane to natural gas. So that's a huge benefit. Yeah, that's a good question, though. Very common question. So that was a good question.
Yeah, I like it, Michael. So hopefully we've helped. As always, refer to the owner's manual. Safety first, safety first. Question number 2. Lynn asks, I'm a new homeowner and love having people over to hang out around the fire. I love sitting around a fire pit, but I hate not being able to enjoy myself because of the smoke. Do you guys have any tips on how to minimize smoke while burning wood? This is a great question.
It really is a great question, actually. And this one could probably go on for a while, just answering, a bunch of different things. But I guess what I would start with, I'll do just a kind of a quick list. And the first one would be, I've been at fault of this myself in the past, is just cleaning the fire pit itself. Making sure that it's clean, I should say. There's no debris, no leaves. If you had a previous fire and there's ash in it, I know that's one thing that people just don't like to do, but getting that stuff out of there and just keeping that fire pit clean. Then once you do get your wood, your wood in there, the important thing about the wood is using, well-seasoned hardwood. We want to make sure that we're using some type of hickory, oak, ash, and you want it as dry as possible, because you want to think of the wetter that wood is, the more it's going to smoke. So you do want it, the drier the better it's going to be. Otherwise, it's going to smoke up. If you just stack it all on top of each other, you've got no place for airflow. So you want to be able to stack that in a way so that, whether it's TPing it up so you've got plenty of airflow. One of the things that I've used in the past, I think maybe you do, Mike, is we have these fantastic grates on our site called spider grates. It kind of just elevates it up off of the ground. If you have just a ground fire pit or a block style wood burning fire pit, and it allows you to get more airflow into that. So that airflow is also going to help reduce, some of that smoke.
So Lynn, I 100% agree with you. I don't know what it is, but I am the smoke guy. So when I host parties, I have a gas pit. I have a nice wood burning pit as well. At some point, I look at everybody and say, hey, if you don't want to be in the smoke, don't sit by me, because it follows me. I go all around the fire pit. I purposely get up and I'll go mix drinks for my company, and then I'll come back and sit in a different spot, and the smoke comes my way. I think what a lot of folks do, though, is they want to get rid of that kind of trashy wood that just kind of, a tree fell and I cut some branches off of it and I'm going to throw it in there. You have to think of wood as, at some point it was living and it uses moisture as a part of its life, and then for one reason or another it's now cut into pieces. If you don't stack it in a way and season it to let that water evaporate out of it when you throw it on the fire, it's kind of like putting a a pan of cold water on a stove. It's gonna eventually boil, and then steam's gonna come out, and then all that water's gonna boil away, and then you're just gonna have a hot pan. That's the same thing with wood, and it's the best example I can use. I gotta steam all of the water out of that piece of wood before it actually burns the log. And the way it does it is it produces smoke. That's a big piece of the problem. I'm an NFI certified master hearth professional, and the smoke still follows me around. And it's because we all do it.
We all do it. It's a bonfire. It's outside. Yeah, exactly. I'm saving that good dry wood for my fireplace inside the house.
That's it, man. I've been stacking wood, and I'm looking at it going, man, it wouldn't be so smoky if I went and grabbed it from the rack over there, but I don't wanna, because I'm going to burn that in the house.
Yeah, just throw the Christmas tree in the fire pit.
Oh my gosh, the Christmas tree is cooking. That's funny. Those are all great though, Randy. It's great for not just outside fires, but your indoor fires as well. That's what you want to do. Covering your wood is important as well if you're going to stack wood out there and get it going. Is there a good way to cover your wood?
Yeah, I mean, ideally, maybe just keeping the top half covered, because like you just mentioned, you want that airflow to pass through your wood, because that's really ultimately what's going to help dry it. Usually covering maybe like the first layer or so, it just really helps you grab some of your drier pieces when you're ready to use them on there. Ideally, you don't want to use a full cover, because then it's not going to get any air. It actually might build up moisture within inside of that and take longer to dry out versus just being open on the bottom side there.
Great point. That tent effect traps moisture in, and actually, as the wood is trying to dry and release the moisture, you're keeping it in there.
Airflow's our friend, like you said.
Well, this brings us to the end of Season 2, Episode 1. Randy, I can't believe it. Season 2. I feel like we're, Yellowstone or something, are they gonna do another season? How many times can John Dutton die?
The network approved it.
Neither Randy or I are getting shot from a helicopter or anything of that nature. We are totally here. We get called experts in fire because of our education and those types of things, but really we're experts because of the experiences that all of our listeners have. And that's what we're here for. Expert doesn't mean we know it all. It just means we have access to it all. And that's why we want to share.
I'll be the first one to tell you that I don't know everything, but I'll find the answer if I don't know for you.
One thing we do want to express to everyone is that we are going to be hitting show season here pretty soon. And we've got the GIE coming, or HNA GIE. Is that October, right?
Yeah, I believe it's the GIE Expo 2024, which is down in Louisville, Kentucky. And it's the Green Industry and Equipment Expo, one of the largest landscape hardscape shows around. And that'll be down in Louisville, Kentucky. I believe it's like October 15th through the 18th this year.
Yep, we'll be there. We'll have a booth there. So if you are a listener and you want to chat with us, we're going to be there. And we're looking forward to meeting folks there. And then we are also going to be doing the Builder Show again this year in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And we'll get the dates for you guys on that one. That one's in February. So as always, such a pleasure being able to sit and chat with all of you and give you any information that you need. We hope you enjoy the new format that's coming down the pipe, and we really want to engage you. Send us questions, send us comments, make jokes about Randy.
Absolutely. Let's do it.
It's okay. We'll talk about those on air as well. And as always, Randy, I thank you so much, brother, for everything that you do, for the time that you take to hang out with Sam and I here and do this show. Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
And cut.